All right, hello everybody, and welcome to a special editions of the No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast, King and Queen of the Ring post-show reaction. I'm with the one and only, the Kimmelnator, Joshua Kimmel, and of course, I am the immortal Bobby Melendez. Josh, how you doing, brother?
Pretty good. I love these. I love these afternoon PLEs on a Saturday. It's nothing's better than a Saturday afternoon full of wrestling, and I'm not even being sarcastic. How are you doing?
I'm the same. I feel the same way. I love that I was able, I did my show earlier, Fids Talk today about my Dolphins with Fish Tank Hank, and as soon as I got off, I went to go watch this PLE. It was fun. It's the day's over. We can react to it, but we can also enjoy our day. Our night is not clogged up now with a wrestling event. It's like 11 o'clock at night. We're reacting to that and having to go to bed. No, we get a fresh perspective, our raw reaction. I mean, King and Queen of the Ring was a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. Finstanza called me post-show or in the middle, almost towards the end of the Cody Rhodes match. And to him, he was saying it was pretty predictable. He thinks it was a pretty predictable show. I thought, okay, yeah, but, some things could have gone either way. I mean, the Randy Orton Gunther match, you brought up a great point last week when I was like, man, I could see Gunther winning and then possibly going to SummerSlam and facing Drew. There's some news on that. It's kind of looking that way a little bit. But you were like, hey, dude, don't forget Randy Orton. He could win that. And it'd be Cody versus Randy, mentor versus, pupil. And, kind of turns out that might not be the case. But some people are saying, hey, it still could be the case. But we're going to get right to it. Very quick overall. What were your overall thoughts on the show? You feel good? You feel
Up and down, man. There was matches that just bored me to tears, and there was matches that were excellent. To me, it's true. Like there was like the live match. We'll get to them all, but that bored me to tears. Right? Didn't really need that match. But the main event was excellent. The energy was there throughout the entire show. I feel like these Saudi shows, especially, are all pretty cookie cutter, pretty much predictable. As I predicted every single match correctly on X about 8 o'clock in the morning this morning. I did say maybe Orton could win, but if you listen to me earlier in the week on Real Talk Wrestling, the other wrestling show, the AEW show, I said I don't think Randy Orton's ready to get booed yet. I don't think we're ready to boo Randy Orton, so it doesn't make sense for that match to actually happen. Very predictable show if you actually think about it, but also that element of surprise was still there. I will be honest with you, Bobby. I'm not happy with some of these results. I think these results, I think some of them are just the wrong decision, but I did predict them to happen. We'll get there when we get there. How'd you feel about the show?
So I'm with you with the, I could have seen things go a little differently, but for the full disclosure, I've always been this way. I went to film school. I love writing and doing movies, writing things like this, doing stuff like that, whatever that makes sense. And, I've always enjoyed the film. I enjoy the art. I allow the story to play out. But what happens when you go to film school and you go with fellow film students is some of the students that used to love the story, the film, the art, they start become critical and cynical and every little thing. And, they just hate it. It's not going the way they want it to go. You can't even enjoy a movie. You think of the Star Wars franchise. You can't just sit down and enjoy Star Wars anymore. It has to be a specific way. Oh my God, Luke is not supposed to be that way. Luke's supposed to be the best, whatever. It's just, let's enjoy it. I'm one of those ones like, hey, I could go and go, damn, dude, that's not the way to go, but I don't nitpick every little thing. You and I've kind of talked about the story, Cody's story, how it could have gone. Everybody wanted Cody to win, but it's like, well, he didn't have to finish the story that way. It's kind of like that. It's like, kind of let the process play out. So, again, there were like Evan was told me earlier, it was predictable. I don't think any of us expected Logan Paul to beat Cody. It's pretty obvious the way it was going. I thought it was kind of funny at the end there, Cody, kind of looking like, oh, yeah, this close one is like, was it? It's like, was it, bro? But the Liv Morgan thing, we'll get to that, but it was pretty obvious where that was probably going. I mean, it could have gone either way, but it was obvious. I think there's a bigger story in there that's going down. And of course, we'll get to that. But I felt it was pretty good. I'm with you. I think the Sami Zayn triple threat match was a lot of fun. Um, I don't know if it was on purpose, but the Gunther Orton finish kind of seemed a little off. I don't
Very
know.
off.
You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know
Mhm.
if there was if maybe that was on purpose because those two guys are top when it comes to in the ring. There's very few better than them, and for them to have that little shoulder
Uh,
up thing, is it a way for Randy to get his shot? Is it say, hey, my shoulder was never down? You know what? Cody says, you know what? You deserve this. I'm gonna face you at SummerSlam or whatever. We will see. But here we go. So, full disclosure here, guys. Full disclosure. Okay. My show ended at 1 o'clock. We're in a little over. I was talking to my co-host, Fish Tank Hang, my dolphin show. So I was like, okay, I'm still gonna make it. They got the little preview runs. They do the little ads before the premium PLE. I had no idea about this match. Okay, I did see some of the highlights. Okay, so the pre-show for King and Queen of the Ring, Bianca and Jade defended their titles against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. I can't tell you if the match was good. I do know though the finish was great. Their finishing move together. I don't know if you saw that, Josh, where they could backflip and then a flip and then a boom and then it was devastating. I was like, God damn! To me, I think they should have been on the show. I don't think they should be a pre-show. These two right here, to me, are main event players, and by that I mean should be on main roster, main show. Uh, I think they're going to make this title reign legitimate. They're going to make the titles legitimate. They're going to mean something eventually. And eventually we know the feud is going to be even better. Eventually these two are going to clash. Whenever it happens, it's going to be a damn good one. But they reign supreme. They defended their titles against Indy Hartwell and Candice LeRae. Okay. And they kept their belts. At least they got a match on the pre-show. Your thoughts very quick on this.
Even if the show was on the main card, I just can't get into the women's tag team division because there is no division. Now, you mentioned film school and the story and the greater story. There is a greater story. These tag team title belts are a tool to get them where we need to get them to, where one will turn heel on the other, one will be jealous, one will eventually turn. Not sure which one. I'm hoping it's Bianca. They're dominant. They're building them as the Brothers of Destruction kind of dominance, where Undertaker and Kane would just go in there and dominate matches as tag team partners. This is the same situation here. Two strong women, like gigantic, muscular women, just beating the crap out of Candice LeRae. Didn't see it. Didn't need to see it. Glad it ended. Glad it, I'm glad they're putting them on the shows. Seriously, I'm glad they're at least putting them on the shows. Again, not sure if this needed to be a match on a main card show. That's just me. Seemed if it was a better opponent, because this was just a
Yeah.
glorified squash match to get them on Saudi Arabia because the prince or whoever may have wanted to see Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. Congratulations. Let's see where it goes. Let's see how
Let's
long they
see.
hold it. Because Bobby, let me ask you this: name the next contender to this amazing tag team title that everyone wants. Name the next contenders, because there's none. There's zero.
Yeah, you got to put you. That's the issue right there, and tag team wrestling in general. That's kind of taken such a step back, and we know that. And they've been trying to bring this all back for years, whether it's the men's and the women's now. There's no legitimate teams. They got to make, if you really want the women's tag team division to work, you got to get some real team. This is a real team. If there are give us 4 more of them, of legitimate teams, you got yourself a division. You're looking forward to something. Back in the day, man, we were looking forward to the Dudley Boys versus the Hardy Boys, or Edge and Christian versus the Hardy Boys, or Too Cool, or the Harlem Heat. You think of, back then you were, was it Scott Steiner and Rick Steiner, the Steiner brothers, and you got Scott Steiner and Buff Bagwell.
Yep.
It meant something back in the day. You were like, oh, they could face them. You can't really say that with the women's division. There's no one that you asked me that question, and I'm thinking, oh, who's Neidhart's partner now? Natalie Neidhart's partner. I don't know. Whoever that is, I guess. But does it feel good? Does it do anything?
Here's the thing. the women's roster isn't big enough to have a tag team division on its own. The Raw men's side, Raw and SmackDown side, isn't big enough to hold their own division. It's just 4 teams playing a round robin tournament forever. The women's titles, will say this, and this is very serious, and I mean this. They're ultimately useless. They're just a prop. They're just a 24/7 title. That's what I think of it as, because you always have, whether it be Sasha Banks and Bailey or Damage Control, it's one tag team versus Natalia and insert partner here. Exactly. It's one tag team versus Shayna Baszler and insert partner here. It's never, man, these girls have been going at it for a while, or wow, they have it's always a makeshift tag team versus the tag team that they put together. To me, it's a meaning. I just wish they would get away with it, or simple solution. They can travel to NXT. They can travel here. They can travel to TNA. TNA people can come in because they have a partnership with them sometimes. You mentioned it. Other promotions, they need to play ball. Get other women in here. I know you're not going to play ball with AEW and other promotions, but maybe you could reach out to, I don't know, like I said, TNA before, or the NXT division, anything, because it's stale. I don't care about these two. The only thing about these two we're waiting for is not when are they going to drop those titles. It's when are they going to turn on each other. That's all we care about. And it could be done without tag team titles.
And, I mean, I'm trying to think as I'm listening to you too, I'm thinking like, how could we make those titles? How could they make those titles feel legitimate or feel, it was the same thing back in a little bit with the US title. They were trying to make it bigger than what it was or what it is. It used to be big in WCW, it meant something. And then WWE is kind of like, okay, Carlito and whatever. Eventually, John Cena got a hold of it, and he had that open championship, and he treated it like this is the world title, and that's how I think. We were talking last episode about the world championship, WWE title, the heavyweight, basically being a main event attraction. It doesn't have to be defended all the time. Okay, well then you got to make the U.S. title and the Intercontinental title almost feel it just as important. Back in the day, Scott Hall, Razor Ramon, Shawn Michaels, IC championship match. It felt like this meant something. They have to do that with these. They have to figure out a way to do that, and maybe getting some, these two are big names, but if Becky's not going to be in the title picture, well, again, she's going to have a title match against Liv, but if let's say Becky's not doing something with the world title, and I don't know, if let's say Bailey or whatever, once she drops it, or even Charlotte, imagine we know the story between Becky and Charlotte. Imagine how that would be with those two as tag partners and then helping that division or trying to build. Maybe you don't have to have pairs, but you could have groups of, I don't know. I think you can't just have like these Indy Hartwells and Candice LeRae's or Natty Neidhart, who's one of the most consistent good performers in the women's division, and pair her with some random person and say, okay, we're going to go against the world title. You're not going to win that. We know you're not going to do it unless WWE's bored and they want to just change something up.
Exactly. You nailed it on the head. The only way they won't make the titles relevant, but you can get a relevant program from these titles. All it would take is one little shoulder shrug with Becky Lynch in the hall. You pair her with her new little friend that lost to Nia Jax earlier. At least you have a megastar with someone, as her tag team partner. It's kind of makeshift, but another superstar going after 2 superstar women. So therefore, you have Bianca, who's a veteran, Becky, who's a veteran. Jade's still a rookie. People got to remember, she's only had a handful of matches, under 100 matches in her career. So she's still a rookie. And then this lady who lost to Nia Jax, forgive me, she's only been on TV for 4 weeks now. Not really familiar with her, but you can get
I hope she's okay. I do hope she's okay. I said a prayer.
She may never come back. She may be buried over there in Saudi. I don't know.
Well, my wife was asking one of my kids, you want a pancake? And I was like, I just saw a pancake live on TV. I just saw one made on live TV. It was, man, Nia is having a strong run right now. I mean, they are really pushing her. But let's get to a run here, and that's Liv Morgan. She went against Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch, the champion, now a former champion. Liv wins the title, but thanks to Dom. Dom trying to say, hey, Becky, here's that chair, slides the chair in. Becky's like, whoa, what's going on here? Gets caught, DDT on the chair, finish 1, 2, 3. Dom, of course, looking like he's very upset. What were your thoughts on this match?
Man, my thoughts on this match was perfect ending. The whole match bored me to tears. When Liv wrestles, it looks like she's thinking instead of actually acting, or reacting. There we go. Remember, you don't want to think about what you're going to do next. You got to react to what you're doing next. Great ending, great story at the end. I
Yep.
loved everything about the ending. With Liv celebrating, walking away, Becky in the corner, just looking at Dom like, you idiot, you mess it up, and Dom just legitimately thinking, wow, mommy's gonna be very mad with me when I get home. Right? That's the thought. That's what he's thinking in his mind. Perfect ending. Like, I can't stress it enough. What did you think? Because I know you're a big Becky Lynch fan. I know when I posted that Clockwork Orange gift, because that's what she tried to be. She tried to be the Clockwork. She pulled it off because she's just looks. I can't stand her. I'm glad she lost the title. I'm glad she lost the title. I am. She's old. She's tired. This is a story. This is a seed planted for the eventual bigger story, which is Rhea and Liv.
Okay, so first off, to Becky, this is what she is now. Okay, she is what Charlotte is basically. I mean, they've earned that right to be in that spot. They're going to be in the title picture whenever they need a fill in, and they hold the belt and then they drop it and push somebody up. That's what they're doing with Liv here. You were saying what Dom's thinking, or what I thought when you said that about, oh, mommy's going to be mad. It's really what they want you to think. Again, this is what I love about it. You're right. The match felt like it was just trying to, let's get this to last until we know what the ending, because we got to kill the ending. We got to make sure that ending is perfect. And the ending was fun. It was like, holy crap, and then you're like, 1, 2, 3, and Becky is selling it. She's like, you stupid ass, you dumb, you're a dumb, and Dom is going, oh, and she is laughing. Liv is having the time of her life. She's done it. She's had her revenge tour, quote unquote. But again, this is I told you my daughter's a diehard Judgment Day fan. She is a diehard Rhea Ripley, and she loves Dom. She has the wanted Dom shirt. I broke down. I got it. I said, I'll get you it. Just don't wear it out. Just wear it in the house. And but she has it. But I told her, I said, here's my prediction. I said, this is what I think. Liv's going to replace Rhea in Judgment Day. Dom's going to betray Rhea. Liv is because again, I don't know if you've seen some of this stuff on social. I love what WWE is doing with social media when it comes to Uncle Howdy, when it comes to the Judgment Day. I mean, you see Liv and Dom exit the dressing room at one point in the very back. You don't, if you're not really looking, you won't see it. And then you have Liv coming out of the car with Finn Balor at one point. There was one of those backstage videos. Unless you pay attention, you won't see it. This is going to be, I just love, it was very subtle. And I know we could say it's obvious, but there's a portrayal coming here. And obviously, because Dom is always going to get booed, and Dom is a perfect bad guy. He is right there. No matter what he does, they're going to hate the hell out of him. Doesn't mean you could put him with Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley could be a face. They're going to hate Dom. That's just his rep now. And he's making all the money in the world for it, and good for him. He's one of the best at that. But Rhea's going to be a face when she comes back. Damian is looking like to be a face. And this upcoming match that he's got at Clash of the Castle, we'll talk about it, probably will be that turn for him. And that's probably what's going to happen. It's going to be that's where the turn's going to be. They can't be associated with the heels eventually. So Liv is a perfect heel. She's going to replace Rhea. Rhea's going to be outside looking in. She'll be separated from the Judgment Day, and she'll still be what she is. So that's my thoughts. I think this, as you were saying, he's thinking what mommy's going to do. Mommy's going to be pissed. I think that's what they want us to think. Am I on the right path?
You're on the right path, but mommy's still going to be pissed.
Oh, hell yeah.
Regardless. I don't like the backstage interview we got with Becky. Like, I have in my clause a title rematch. I cannot stand that. That just sets up. That's just, to me, we already know where it's going. We're going to get a rematch at Clash, correct? Where Liv is going to go over again, but this time it's going to be intentional with the help from Dominic. And then that's when we see like Liv smile, do the whole thing. And I feel like they will embrace afterwards. And then we'll see the embracement of Dom and Liv, and they will be the new couple moving forward in Judgment Day. We're in the same house here.
I would love to see. Oh, go ahead.
I was just going to say, guys, predictable isn't always bad.
No,
Just
it's
because
not.
you see predictable, just because you see it coming. We all when we watch the Avengers in the one before where Spider-Man dies and we all cried, but we all knew he was coming back because that's just the way movies work. When they came back, we still all went, "Whoa!" But we all knew it was coming, right?
I
Doesn't
just
mean it's a
had
bad
a
thing.
conversation similar to this about professional wrestling, where people are like, "Who cares? It's fake." It's like, dude, it's like a movie. You know the movie's not real. You know the detective is not really a detective, but you give a damn. You're watching your soap operas every day, where the world turns or whatever, General Hospital, but you're still crying when the girl dies or when the guy dies. This is what this is. And it's the same thing. We know where this kind of is going. But you're still invested in the story, and this is a good story. Little seeds here and there. I will tell you, I would love to see the type of turn I would like to see. I wouldn't want to see Dom fully turn or a little throat stones here and there. I think you're right with Clash of the Castle. He'll interfere again. Look like he's going to come in for Becky. Ends up helping Liv. Big crap show. Rhea shows up, is back. I would love to see like the Paul Heyman Big Show Brock Lesnar turn. I don't know if you remember that back in the day. Paul Heyman was Lesnar's manager. I think it was Survivor Series. I believe it was Survivor Series. And Big Show, of course, he was wearing the black jeans and the leotard thing here, whatever it's called. And he, what is he called? He hit the referee. Paul Heyman punched the referee or something like that when Brock Lesnar had him beat, and then Brock Lesnar looked and he saw, Paul, and he kind of figured out, whoa, what the hell did you? And he chases him around the ring, and Paul's, oh shit, that was a perfect out of nowhere type of that was out of nowhere because he never showed he was going to switch. But I think that would be a cool thing where Rhea looks like she has Liv beat, and then all of a sudden Dom pulls the referee or something, and you're like, wait, what? That would be a
Yep.
perfect way to go. But uh with you, it looked like they were just trying to get to the finish. It was a great finish, great story continuation, whatever. And we'll wait and see how it goes.
This is not how I would open up a show, by the way. But I get why they did it because of title change. You don't want to put a title change in the middle of the show. You have to start with it. So I understand. As soon as I knew it started, I'm like, well, it's a lock. She won. She won. Well, it's a lock. It's a lock because you start a show with a bang, right? You don't start a show with a dud. And it was a bang at the end. So
There you
next
go.
match. Next match was way better. I'll tell you that.
Let's talk about this one. Sami Zayn, uh, Chad Gable, and what is it? Brutus Reed,
Bronson Reed.
Bronson Reed.
Big Bronson Reed.
That dude, my goodness, I always get fascinated by the big guys that could, like,
Flip
go.
and
You just they're so fast and they hurt. You know damn well when they hit you, it hurts.
Yep.
And yet they're light as a feather. I mean, it's like it's crazy.
Yeah.
But this was a fun match. It was high level. It was exciting. The story was great. That's one thing I talk about it. The wrestling was awesome, but the story within the wrestling, and I hope that makes sense to some people who are listening. But I just think, when it means something, when you're looking at Otis and you're watching him and you're seeing his reactions, and then you're looking at Chad Gable, who, again, I mean, he's his own guy, and he's so damn talented, and for so small, he's so damn strong, and he's so fun. It's like, and when I say he's his own guy, but it's like, holy crap, the Kurt Angle is it a reincarnate? I mean, just the way he carries himself, I see it, And Sami Zayn was a lot of fun. I love this match, and I like the way it ended. Again, I like that Otis got his licking. Of course, Sami Zayn retained. He won. Otis clotheslined the hell out of Chad Gable, quote unquote, by accident. Sami Zayn took that opportunity. He was shocked. He looked. He got the Burke. And he won the match. I loved it. I loved it. I don't know where Sami Zayn goes from here. I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. But on the match itself, what do you think?
See, that's the problem. Where does he go? Where does he go? I don't know where he goes. I think he loses the title to Chad Gable. That's where he goes. Um, the ending was perfect. Otis, he didn't want to do it. He was pressured to do it. I think he meant to hit Sami Zayn. I think he meant to hit. I don't think he meant to hit Chad Gable. I don't think Otis has the backbone just yet. The backbone's not going to come until the Creed brothers show up on Raw tomorrow, or not tomorrow night, Monday night on Memorial Day. That's when Otis gets his backbone, when he gets beat down by the Creed brothers. Can't wait for that to happen, by the way. I said it. Bronson Reed was in the match to take the pin. That's why he was there.
You're right.
It's
You
the
did
only
say
reason
that.
why. It's the only reason why he was there. There ain't no way they're pinning Sami Zayn or Chad Gable right now. This story ends with Chad Gable eventually winning that title as a heel with the Creed brothers helping him. Um, you know, when you watch a match like this and there's so much going on, and Bronson Reed's doing backflips off the top rope, and then you have them doing a superplex along with the power bomb at the same time. There's so much going on, and you forget that every single one of these guys, and even Bronson Reed, are capable enough to put on a match like this, and they're all Intercontinental Championship contenders. Like they all, if you told me Bronson Reed was the Intercontinental title, okay, he's a champion. I could buy that.
Yeah.
So that's the one thing about this match is we know where it was going, but I would not be shocked if Bronson Reed hit a huge tsunami and pin Chad Gable 1, 2, 3. I wouldn't be surprised. That was the beautiful thing about this match. Sami Zayn won. Everyone's a huge favorite. Everyone was chanting. I was so surprised by that. Props to the crowd, by the way. They tried their hardest to match France's energy. You weren't going to match that.
No.
But this is the loudest Saudi show I've ever heard. And I think a lot of other countries, and even the United States, are bringing their game up to France's and
Puerto
Rico's energy, because those two spots right there elevated the game, and the crowd was live the entire show. It was great.
No, the crowd, and I love that because the crowd makes the match. It helps make the match. It makes it interesting. It's just an example. And again, I don't want to. The Triple H announcement at the end was kind of like, they thought they were getting something, a surprise match, and it's like at Scotland, and it was like, oh, it just kind of killed it. But this match.
Wait, did I miss something?
Oh well, I don't want to spoil it. We'll get to it.
All right.
All right. So, Sami Zayn retains here. Again, the crowd, you're absolutely right, was awesome. I mean, it's true too. It's obvious, right? You say it's obvious. We thought everyone figured Sami Zayn was going to win this match. And, you said it. I talked to you last week, and you were the one who, you were like, look, it's Sami Zayn, because if Chad Gable wins or he has to lose in order to keep that story going with the Creed brothers and whatever, it's eventually going to come out of it. But if Bronson Reed would have won, it would have been awesome to see, but it wouldn't be a surprise. It'd be like, okay, it makes sense. If Chad Gable would have won, it would have made sense. Something, it was an entertaining, fun match, which you could have going, this makes, this is obvious, but as it was going on, you kind of were like, this could go either way. And these guys can hold this title and make it mean something. And Sami Zayn's doing that too. And it starts with Gunther. Gunther was really the one who made that title worth it. And now you're invested in the title. I hate the title's design. I hate it with a passion. Mm-hmm. It's the ugliest title I've ever seen. They need to go back to the classic look. But it means something. It's a fun, they're having great matches with this belt, and kudos to now the king of the ring in Gunther. But let's talk about the queen, Nia Jax. She defeated Lyra Valkyria, who, like you said, has been on for a minute, but they've been pushing her. I mean, she seems to be Becky's new best friend. I'm surprised she did not interfere in the match or whatever, or come in some way in the Becky match. Not really. I'm not really surprised, but I mean, she's been interfering in everything else. It was all right. I mean, they had the little spot here and there, and Nia was basically using her power, really showing off the strength, and made her look very strong. And this run, because I don't know if she's not hurting anybody anymore. I mean, I think she is. I mean, especially with that ending. I mean, that had to hurt. That did not look protected at all. But Nia looks strong as she ever has. I think the fireworks spot at the end where she was kind of talking, the fireworks went off, and then she's kind of like, oh, I'm supposed to do this. I was like, yeah, that's awkward. Come on, Nia, get with it. You've been here long enough. You should know what's happening. But made her look strong. Man, it made it that finisher, the Yoko finisher that she's doing now. That looks like a finisher. Josh, you and I mean, I like to think I'm not saying but I'm a strong dude. I deal with pain on day. I could fall and get up. I don't think I can get up from that. And it's not a knock on Nia. That move looks devastating.
Yep.
It looks devastating. I mean, you could put Solo, you could put Yokozuna, Rikishi, you could put any of those guys, you could throw anybody there. Put Gunther, and if he slams himself fully down on you like that, it's gonna hurt.
Yep.
That looks like a legitimate finisher. The win makes sense. She's the queen of the ring. I guess she's gonna go against Bailey. I don't know how I feel about that. I just don't think that makes a lot of sense to me. I would think Clash at the Castle might be where Bailey drops the title, because I don't think Bailey and her makes sense in the ring. I don't know. Maybe they put a banger. I'm not sure, but we know where it's headed. We know she's going to go that title shot at SummerSlam. It's coming. That's the announcement Triple H made. Whoever the winners of the Queen and King of the Ring are to become the contenders. We discussed that via text. What did you think of this match? What did you think of this finish? And where do you think she's going from here?
Match was totally skippable. Not gonna sugar. I'm not gonna sugar. I'm not Bobby. I'm not. And listeners, I'm not gonna sugarcoat anything. Nia Jax, everyone's praising her. She's doing the best work of her career. She is, and it's still not good. I'm not a fan of Nia Jax. I'm not a fan of anything she does, anything she stands for.
Can I ask you a question?
What?
I'm going to ask you this because
What?
some people have reached out to me, text, socials, work, actually, people who watched our show at work. And they're like, who does Josh like? We know he likes Mercedes Moné. He made that pretty clear.
Who do
Becky,
I like?
Charlotte,
In the women's division?
Yeah.
Asuka. Asuka is
Okay.
awesome. Maria May over there in AEW. Love Kairi Sane. I love Bailey. I don't like Becky. I love Tiffy. Tiffy's awesome. I think Tiffy should have won this entire thing. I think it was a huge botch that she didn't win.
You're talking about Stratton? Yep. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's people I do like. I just don't like Nia Jax. Here's what I don't like, Bobby. And everyone watching and listening. The Charlottes and the Beckys who are on top for 10 years. We know what's going to happen. Charlotte's going to show up eventually. She's going to get a title shot and she's going to win it. Cool.
Right.
We've seen it before.
Damn
cool.
Right.
Cool. Do something else. Becky, what's Becky going to do? She's going to lose the title. She's going to come back. She's going to talk in a stupid accent. She's going to win the title. Cool. She does it fake. She does this fake man thing where it's like, it's tired, Bobby. I'm over it. Like, okay. You know who else? Like, I like the people that change, that evolve. Charlotte's been the same person for 10 years, right? Becky's been the same person for so long. I want to see some change. I like wrestlers that like Chris Jericho, right? I hate a Chris guys, everyone listening. I did not like Chris Jericho for the past 2 years. I thought he was awful, washed, done. Chris Jericho is one of the best acts in TV right now because he changed. Charlotte has no capability of changing her character. She's the same robotic nonsense every single. And Nia Jax, get back to her. Same. She's exactly the same. She's never been a different character. She hasn't improved in the ring. She hasn't improved on the mic. She's being crowned because Dwayne's back. Let's be honest. When Triple H was whispering in her ear, I bet you he's like, you're only on top because Dwayne's here. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for Dwayne Johnson. Just remember that. That's what I imagine him thinking when he's whispering in her ear. But I'm happy for her. I'm glad she won. I don't know what they're going to do. Tiffy winning would have made sense, headlining SummerSlam against a Bailey. That is the match. Not Nia versus some rando champion that we don't even know. There's no story there. To me, that's all. Tiffy was the champ. If it wasn't for the controversy, I think she was going to win.
That we'll never know. I mean, I think that's a good point. She's red hot right now. The crowd went wild for her at the event. But I understand the Nia Jax. At least she got something. She's going to be the queen of the ring for the rest of her life. This is her. She's won the title too. I mean, she's made her mark figuratively and literally.
I like Liv too, by the way, guys.
There you go. I had another one in there.
I like Rhea.
There you go.
There's more that I like. I like Naomi.
You like who?
Naomi.
There you go.
I like Britt Baker.
There you go.
Every week I'm going to release 3 new people I like.
Yeah, and if five people that you hate, it's like, I mean, God, I said, man, I watched your show. I was like, oh, cool, thanks, dude. It was good. It was a great show. You guys are awesome. I appreciate that. Dude, what's up with that guy Kimmel, man? He just hates people. Like, that sucked. No, they're not that good.
Hey,
Oh,
I
like,
said every match was good so far. By the way, did I
you
not?
have. I just when we started talking about now, I was like, oh my God, it just hit me like an epiphany. I was like, I remember this. I've been getting this, so I need to ask. I had to ask. Now, first of all, Charlotte and Becky, just saying this, okay. Same thing with a Mercedes Moné or Sasha Banks if she was in WWE. Bailey, not so much for whatever reason. She doesn't get real, even though she's champion. She doesn't have the same aura as the other three. Fact or fiction?
Very fact.
Right? And
Yes.
whether that's because of her, I mean, the fans love her. They need to bring back her old theme. They love her. The fans love her for whatever reason. WWE and current regime, even though they made her the champion, don't seem to be pushing her in the right way. Maybe she has to reinvent herself again. I don't know. But those three for sure, and I'll use Becky and Charlotte since those two, Sasha Banks is in AEW as Mercedes Moné now. Charlotte and Becky have earned the right to be what you say they are. They've earned the right to be what they say they are. They are the pillars. They are what made the women division what it is right now at this point in time. When they are in the ring, especially like even a Charlotte versus Rhea Ripley, 5-star match. Charlotte versus Rhea, or Charlotte versus Becky versus Ronda Rousey we talked about. That was a great match because Charlotte was in it. I'm not saying because those two wouldn't put on a stellar match. I said that last week. They could have done something. Who knows? But Sasha versus Charlotte, 5-star. Charlotte's a badass professional wrestler. She's better than her dad as a wrestler in the ring. She's better. She adapts to this situation. I would say this. My only negative on that, of course, the robe, the music, and everything looks epic. It fits. You're a Flair. You do it. The woo and the move, the little thing, same thing as your dad. You don't need to do that. It does not match you. You are a badass killer. You could do it all. You don't need that part. You could be straight up Triple H version of the women's division. She could, she'll go down as one of the greatest. She's the GOAT to me right now. I'll just tell you right now. Her and Trish. Mercedes Moné. We know why she said it. She's pumping herself up.
She's the GOAT.
Oh, stop it.
Listen,
you have to do it all to be the GOAT.
When people talk, you can't do it all.
Yeah, you can.
You can't do it all if you're held back by management. That's the truth.
Is AEW holding her back?
WWE was.
But AEW ain't. They're giving her everything. What is she?
She's flopping.
Exactly.
She's flopping now. She's huge flop. But let me ask you this. Let's be real though. If Charlotte had the balls to leave her comfy position in WWE and go travel the world and actually wrestle the best and actually get herself out there, I don't think she'd survive.
I think you're wrong.
She's in the same.
I think she would flourish in other companies. If you put her in AEW right now, she would not only be killing it on the mic with those women there, making them legitimate. She would do more than Mercedes Moné. Mercedes is just it's just. I know anyone. That's fair.
Anyone would do better than Mercedes.
That's fair,
right
but you come on. Even you have to admit, Charlotte Flair in any company would be a huge upgrade in that division.
It would be an upgrade for AEW because their division's pathetic.
Come on, now.
It's true.
Come on,
it's true. Dude, listen.
Grab the flowers that are behind you somewhere and give it to damn Charlotte, man.
When Charlotte comes back, I cannot wait to have these conversations because you know what's going to happen. She's going to come back. Hell, she might come back on SmackDown and just beat Bailey because she deserves it. Just because she deserves it. Come on,
she's the
man.
queen.
There's never a story with her.
She's
It's just
GOAT.
I come back, I win a champ. That's the story. She comes back, she beats Bailey. And she's like, you think you're the queen of the ring? I'm the queen. And then we get a boring story with Nia Jax, Charlotte Flair, and that's my break to do laundry. Cool. Can't wait.
I look forward to when she comes back. Because I swear, dude, I was this close to ordering a Charlotte Flair t-shirt, and I probably will do it just to wear it on our shows. Because it's like, You know,
You know what? When Mercedes Moné wins that title tomorrow night on AEW Double or Nothing, I'll be wearing my
and
Mercedes.
she will win it only because of her name. The same reason why you're crapping on Charlotte. You know,
I can't find my only merchandise that I have from Mercedes Moné, but
you
it's around
probably
here
dumped
somewhere.
it. You probably dumped it. Let's be real. Anyway, congratulations, Queen Nia. We took up your time talking about Charlotte and Monet, but we promise next time we'll give it to you. Congratulations. We don't know where you're going, but we'll be watching.
I love Bianca Belair, guys, and I love Jade Cargill.
I'm with you though with Bianca Belair. I think she should be the one that turns heel. We need to see that happen. She
Now I'm
is.
gonna be like, Bobby. Now I can't be. Listen, listen.
Yeah.
I just tell it real. I'm not gonna fake. I'm not gonna sugarcoat things, guys. If I don't
No,
like something, I don't like something.
for
But
sure.
I do like more things than I hate. It's just I want to talk about more things. I want to talk about more things I hate than I like
Because
because I want to
because you
fix
want
it.
it changed. Yeah, I get
Yes.
it. I understand you. I understand. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. It was everyone else that's come to me. I'm just letting you know. And
I can't.
and I'm gonna, that's what I like about us, man. And that's why I love doing this show. And I've been wanting to do the show with you, and I got it, and it's awesome. It's because you and I don't see eye to eye on a lot of things, but we could go at it about it and be cool about it. I mean, right or wrong, and you're wrong about Charlotte, but that's okay. I accept you for who you
Yeah.
are. For
You're
who you
wrong
are.
about you're wrong about Mercedes. It's cool.
Yeah, when she could talk, I mean, shit. I will be right there to hand her a flower, dude.
What's
Man,
next?
I'll show. I'm going to tell you something about me and my brother's conversation about Sasha Banks. Well, Mercedes Moné and Bailey one time, but I don't want to talk about it on here. Anyway, all right, going on. Let's see. The General is now the king of the ring. I'll let you start this one. Thoughts?
Excellent. Everything I wanted. I don't understand the ole 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 at the beginning, but hell, I'm here for it. I was ole ole. I'm like, this is awesome. Like this felt like a super megastar match from the start. Everything was worked out perfectly. Randy sold the back and the knee, which was obviously an ongoing story from the tournament and from his return from, of course, the back surgery. Hit 2 RKOs on this guy. The finish you brought up, was it a mistake? Was it a botch? I'm leaning towards it was a botch. I don't really think that they would go ahead and make their referees look so stupid. Like, oh, he can't tell that the shoulders were down. I think that was the finish, and they just had to roll with it. That's just a small little critique to an enormous, awesome, outstanding match between these two that I'll remember for a while. There was points where I'm like, Randy's gonna win this match. There's no doubt in my mind. There was points. He hit the RKO twice. He doesn't. Nobody kicks out of the RKO. Nobody. Period.
I love the first RKO. I love the way they continue and what he's done, Gunther, to be able to continue to make the ring general. It's not a title. It's legitimate. You think of the Nature Boy, you think of those names, and the Crip, the Rabid Wolverine, just to throw that name, the Game Triple H, the Game, when he was the Game, it's not just the name. He was the Game. He knew how to work the ring. He knew where the weapon was. He knew how to win. Gunther, the ring general, moves, injuries, what to do. That first RKO, you're like, holy crap, you jumped up. Is Randy going to win this? And then for him to roll out of the ring right at that right moment, it didn't look forced. It didn't look like it was planned. It looked like legitimate. Like you saw Randy's face kind of go, what the fuck? It was perfect.
Yeah.
Sorry, just had to say that. Go ahead.
Yeah, and then you had the counters, right? He went for the power bomb, and then he countered that to the RKO where he tried to RKO him and threw him off, and that's when he hurt his back. You had the table spots, of course; those are always go over well with Randy Orton. You had every spot you wanted from these two guys. Nothing was like what I'm going to say by this is it wasn't a spot fest. Like tomorrow night when I watch Double or Nothing, it'll just be backflip, super kick, backflip. Everything had a meaning. There was a reason why Gunther was targeting the back. There was a reason why he was doing body slams, right? Who does body slams anymore? Gunther did. You know why? Because Randy Orton has a hurt back. So instead of just kicking the back and hitting the back, he was thinking other ways to hurt that back even more. Because just like Corey Graves says, when he puts on that half Boston Crab, that's going to hurt the knee and the back. It's like having a Pokemon against two weaknesses at one time, right? You're just gonna smash it. Boom. We thought Randy Orton was gonna tap that way. Didn't happen. Ended up in a roll up, which is the perfect way to beat Randy Orton and still protect him. Now, Bobby, when I asked you, were you wanting Randy Orton to win this match?
No, no, I would not have hated it. Love Randy Orton, respect the hell out of him. One of the goats, right? I mean, his story of you go over his career, um, love everything about him, and I would, and again, I would have been okay with it. I would have been okay with it because then you would have got Randy versus Cody, and you would have got. I mean, it's like he's a 14-time champion now, right? Could have had that chance at the 15-time. That's another story right there.
Mm-hmm.
And I would not hate. We joke. We were just talking about Charlotte, and it's like you think of Charlotte and Ric Flair, and you could throw it. It's like, dude, she's just. But Randy Orton, I don't think anybody would hate Randy Orton for going after or winning the title. He is so damn good as a bad guy, as a good guy, as one of the greatest. Would not have hated it. But I told you last week when we were doing our predictions about, when we didn't know what the final matches were going to be, but we figured it was going to be Randy versus Gunther. And I said, Gunther, I picked Gunther to win. We both did. And because Gunther versus Drew McIntyre at SummerSlam, it makes a lot of sense. And it's going to be one hell of a match. And this could be, and most likely will be, the start of a very long reign as the world's heavyweight champion for Gunther. I wanted him to win. And, we go, man, another long reign. We were just talking about, first off, you and I have no issue with that. It makes sense. You got to make the title mean something. It has to be a main attraction. But if anybody deserves a long reign and a dominating reign, it's the ring general. I mean, what he's been able to do in the time that he's been in WWE, you put him in a TNA or an AEW or anything. I mean, he is the number one guy. He is, and he's right there with anybody. Total package in a way, I think, and the crowd was too loud for him at the talk at the end, but I liked what he was saying. And he's the perfect. He's like, I appreciate that you deserves it, but I don't give a damn about you deserve. I don't need you guys to tell me that. I loved it. I wanted him to win. I'm happy he won. I see where it's going, and I'd be shocked if Priest goes over on Drew because I think Drew and Gunther is the way to go. And I think Drew doesn't have an issue with winning and dropping, to someone like Gunther.
Mm-hmm.
But Drew's perfect. Drew can reign it as long as he wants. But no, I wanted to, right?
Drew,
I mean,
yeah. Drew has a bigger story coming up, and it doesn't involve the world championship at all.
It does sound good.
Yep.
Gunther does sound good.
Gunther has Gunther. Drew McIntyre has bigger plans, and that's CM Punk. And CM Punk and Drew does not need a title. We don't want to, because we know CM Punk has to win that feud, and we don't want to put the world championship on CM Punk. He doesn't need it. He's bigger than the world championship. So Gunther winning this match right here solidifies him going over at SummerSlam, becoming the ring general, and having it, like you said, a dominant title reign throughout WrestleMania. Right, he's going to go through the Royal Rumble winner, whoever that may be. Don't know yet. Main event WrestleMania, as he should, and continue. I was thinking after Triple H gave the crown to Nia, I'm thinking, Paul, Triple H is giving the King of Ring. This is a big FU to Vince, by the way, because last year they were supposed to do this in Saudi, and Vince came back and changed everything. Remember that?
Yep.
Now, this is a big FU to Vince, like, hey, these are my people. Even though it was Nia Jax, maybe that's one of his people. And he's crowning his generation. TNA. AEW might as well be TNA these days. AEW just had a show called Dynasty. And where every single one of the new people, Swerve, Ospreay, Okada, they all won, as in they're the new dynasty. Gunther is part of the new dynasty for WWE. The guys of Randy Orton, the older people, they're still there. They're still doing phenomenal work. But now we have the new generation, Cody Rhodes, Gunther, the other upcoming guys. Drew McIntyre is even on that list because he never really was a main eventer until just now, recently. I mean, he was in the past, but that was COVID era. We don't count that. I'm excited for the future. I'm excited for this. I just don't know where Randy goes now. I don't see him versus Cody. I'm not ready to boo him. Neither are you.
No, no. But let's be real. I mean, even if he was the villain in that story, would you boo him? I don't think
And
he
that's a
would.
but Triple H is smart enough to know we are ready to boo Cody Rhodes. We'll get
Yes.
there later. We're already because we are so sick of his babyface, clean shaven, suit wearing, neck tattoo having. Yes, I'm a hater of Cody Rhodes right now. Because you know why? Because I love Cody Rhodes. And this is where he's at his worst. When he's so political and he's this, but we'll get there. I'm as excited for Gunther's future.
Yeah, and I will say, dude, because you just said going through WrestleMania and who's that opponent at WrestleMania? We don't know what the end game is, but the one name I will throw out there right now for me that would make a lot of sense, and his reign would continue past WrestleMania would be Brock Lesnar. If everything works out the way it could work out, Gunther's talked about it. We know WWE wanted to do that. What better way to elevate your world's heavyweight champion, your young guy, to be the dominant monster eventually of the WWE, which he is. I mean, I'm not saying monster like Braun Strowman. I'm just talking just physical beast mode type of dude that anybody faces him, you're kind of like, crap. I got Gunther tonight, is Brock Lesnar. I mean, you think what
Yep.
he did, what Brock Lesnar was able to do for Roman Reigns, what he was able to do for Drew McIntyre, what he did for Goldberg when Goldberg came back and survived SummerSlam, right? Survivor Series. I don't know. It doesn't matter. But that 1 minute squash match, that enough will throw Gunther into the stratosphere. So I don't know if it will happen, but that's the name I'll throw out there. My main event for WrestleMania Night 1 or whatever. Brock Lesnar versus Gunther for the World's Heavyweight title.
Yep.
That makes a lot of sense.
It's already penciled in, guys. In case you didn't know, WrestleMania's two main events are going to be Brock versus Gunther. That's already penciled in. And Cody versus Rock. I would say Cody versus. No, it's got to be Cody Roman again.
I think
maybe Cody Rock. Dang, I don't know. That's tough. It's gonna be Cody versus a Bloodline. It's gonna be Cody versus the Tribal Chief, whoever that is.
I think it's more likely that Gunther has a world title at WrestleMania than Cody has the undisputed title.
Oh no, Cody ain't losing.
I think Cody could drop that belt unless he's facing Randy at SummerSlam. If he's facing The Rock,
he's losing.
He's dropping that belt.
He's dropping.
Right?
So if he faces Roman at SummerSlam, he's winning. If he faces Rock at SummerSlam, he's losing.
And then Rock will hold on to that, and Rock will go to Hollywood, do his thing. That belt would be the main event traction that we've been talking about, and it'll be Rock versus Roman.
Yep.
41. That's the match, and Cody will have to do whatever Cody decides to do or whatever they have for Cody. But yeah, right now where I stand, I believe it's more likely Gunther's the world champion at WrestleMania than Cody is the undisputed title champion. And of course, and I'm with you. SummerSlam's the key. If he's facing Rock, he's dropping it. He's facing Randy or whomever, he'll go over, and we'll see where it goes from there. But I don't know why I just don't feel Cody's going to hold on to that title all the way through.
Baby faces don't normally hold titles that long.
Yeah, it's gonna. And let's just get to it, right? The story continues. Cody's story continues. He defeats Logan Paul with some help by the special ring announcer. I don't have his name. I texted Josh and I'm like, who the hell was that, dude? And it's like, wait a second, it's the ring announcer. They just announced it. And maybe you said he's a celebrity down there, apparently. So okay, that gets over their local crowd. But we expected some high spots. There were some high spots. It wasn't a bad match. It was a good match. It was fun. But it was so obvious. And it was a good table spot there from Logan Paul, and Logan takes out the brass knuckles, and you got that interference, and then the Roman. I didn't like that he did the 3 times crossroads.
He does that now. That's a new thing.
I just hate that. That should be.
Hold on. I got over the weekend. I got these texts and these messages on Twitter and everything. Why does Bobby always hate like finishers? Why is he always hating Cody Rhodes' finish?
I'm serious about the text. I ain't bullshit. I'll show you the messages, man. I'm like,
no, I get it. No, I don't like it. It's overkill. It is overkill. You should say no. I will say this: it's overkill when you do it 3 times on someone like Logan Paul. Those should be
Yeah,
saved for Rock, Roman, like a
Roman,
big
yeah, it's gonna
Randy,
mean something
even.
more. Yes.
Yes.
It means something. That's my point. I ain't hating
Yeah.
on it, bro. I'm just telling you. Like, if he was facing someone like we'll say Goldberg or
Uh-huh.
Brock Lesnar, right? Somebody like it's like, holy crap. The 3 crossroads make sense. You gotta take Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. You gotta take him down. He's gonna kick out. You do it. Logan Paul? We did that 3 times to Logan Paul? What? Whatever. His story continues. Logan Paul's still the United States champion. They worked that out. My son was like, "Oh, new US champion." I was like, "No, I had to break something to you." They changed that, and he
They
hated that,
changed it.
but it is what it is. Um, but yeah, your thoughts on this?
You said predictable. Doesn't mean it was boring at all. This was
No, it
probably the
wasn't boring. We
this is
knew it
my
wasn't going to be boring.
this was my second favorite match by far. By far, there's only like 5 matches on the card, but this is my second favorite one of them. This right here was the perfect Logan Paul match. Ultra babyface and Cody Rhodes, ultra heel and Logan Paul, still using the brass knuckles, even though he said he wasn't going to. That was genius. We all knew it was going to happen. There was no really interference with KSI or IShow Speed or any of his goons. Yes, there was interference on the outside. Like they weren't allowed in the ring. They were on the barricade. That was okay. That's the kind of spots I want to see with Logan Paul. Who let KSI just run right in and where's security? None of that stuff ever makes sense. But if they're behind the barricades actually in the stands and giving him stuff, that makes so much sense. I love the way they pulled that off. I love I laughed out loud. I don't laugh out loud much, but when Corey Graves was like, yeah, well, we don't have the hydration station over here. He needs his prime. He's drinking his prime. That was hilarious to me. Love the product placement. Love the prime before the frog splash from the top rope to the table, which he does every match. This time he actually hit it. He usually doesn't hit it. That was great. Cody Rhodes, man, he's just going to win his matches like this. Get beat up, get beat up, get beat up, and then eventually overcomes 3 crossroads. You might as well make a t-shirt, right? Get beat up, overcome the odds, 3 crossroads, go home. That's the Cody Rhodes match.
And that's why I can't see him holding that title much longer, wherever it happens. It's not going to be at, Clash at the Castle but SummerSlam, Survivor Series, whatever, one of those big ones. He's going to drop it.
Let me ask you this. Since WrestleMania, this is dealing with the topic of him holding the title. Has he had a story whatsoever revolving any kind of feud that didn't last longer than 3 weeks?
No, this is a Triple H WWE Raw Evolution type of reign. I mean, remember back in the day, I mean, it was fun. I enjoyed it because it's just the difference is he's just fighting people on the roster. But back then it was Kevin Nash, Scott Steiner, Goldberg, Kane. It was every pay-per-view, Booker T. It was someone different.
Yep.
Remember that Booker T versus WrestleMania, Triple H WrestleMania match? It was kind of like out of nowhere. Booker T eliminated Rock. And if that's basically what this is, and you're right, there is no story. I mean, he could have feuded with someone else on the bloodline. If The Rock would have stayed past WrestleMania, that would have been a perfect post-WrestleMania feud to keep Cody strong. They didn't have that. And it's been, like you said, it's just, what can we do just to make it last? The thing about Roman Reigns' reign, is that every match felt important. Every match had a very good story. Even if it was a short story, it meant something. You think of, and the example is LA Knight, or even Logan Paul. That was a fun one. It built a little bit of a story, and it was a great match. You cared about the win, and you actually thought, did LA Knight have a chance? We knew Sami Zayn. Like, does Sami Zayn actually have a shot to do this?
Jey Uso,
of course, that story was longer, but the turn and in the fight, that second match,
yep,
again, for Cody, it's kind of like,
yep, gonna beat
AJ.
AJ.
It's gonna be fun. You know what I mean? You could have made something bigger with AJ, and it was a great match. You could have gone two matches with AJ and made it legitimate. Like, holy crap, this is going to be it. AJ's going to pull this off. And I think anybody would hate AJ being the WWE champion. AJ's fun. Hydration Station. Yeah, this is why I don't. And let me just say, you bring up, we both, I think Undertaker said this. I think Bubba Ray Dudley has said this, that he sees Cody as Darth Vader, Anakin Skywalker. That he just needs that Emperor Palpatine to bring him out. And Cody's kind of said, I need, if I get a manager, I'm gonna get that classic ring manager. And people are thinking about Jim Cornette, which I don't know if that would make sense, but whatever. Go get Arn Anderson back.
No,
But
don't do that. Don't do that, Cody. If you're watching this
go
show,
get Anderson.
we don't need the playbook coming back. Did you watch AEW during that time?
No, I didn't. I just know Arn Anderson's over there.
He came back. He used to manage Cody Rhodes.
Okay.
He came out with a playbook. Like, all right, we're gonna run this play. Legitimately, a wrestling playbook, and he carried it around. Yes, it was bad. It was unbelievably bad.
I gotta look back. Arn Anderson's one of my favorites of all time.
No, yes, he is awesome.
I love Arn Anderson. I will say, but
it's gonna be Brandy, by the way.
Brandy makes sense. And she's good. She's good on the mic. And she has the look respectively, all that whatnot. She would be awesome. I'd love it, especially if it was a heel Cody. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I'm saying, like, even after this match, he goes, I don't know how much you stayed to watch the finish, but did anyone else's feed from Peacock just up and died after Cody's arm was raised? No, John. Mine stayed on. I don't know, Josh. Did your
mine died? Yeah, I hit the exit button.
Okay, well, that's different. If you meant that, I walked away. But one thing I noticed though, and then maybe you just answered it for me, but like, when they're putting the referee's putting the belt around his waist, he's like this, and the referee's putting the belt around his waist, which what champion does that? And then he goes and he's like this, points at the guy outside. He goes like, points at him and I'm like, you condescending prick. You're a bad guy. You're a heel. Mm-hmm. And just you're pretending to be a good guy, and that's pissing me off. I get what the Undertaker is saying. I understand what Bubba Ray Dudley is saying. I get it now. I see it now. You prick. You're a bad guy.
But he wants to be he thinks what he's doing is babyface. He thinks what he's doing is the next John Cena. I think he truly believes he is the ultimate babyface, but it's coming off as what you say, condescending, cocky, arrogant, the Homelander.
Oh my gosh, that's a perfect comparison. Like, and wouldn't that be the perfect heel? Like, if he just, that's awesome. I love that.
He's been called Homelander ever since AEW, so I didn't come up. I'm not. Yes.
Well, that tells you how much I watch AEW, and I love that. People argue with me when I used to say, "Man, it reminds me of TNA." I tried to watch it. It's not TNA, damn it! I had people going up, and then people are like, "It's kind of like TNA now." It's like, "Oh, is it? Is it? Oh, who thought of that? Oops, But whatever. Anyway, congratulations to Cody Rhodes. His story continues. Do you think he has a match at Clash of the whatever the hell it's called?
I think he has to. And again, they're just going to give a exactly. But who? And I'll say this: who cares? And I mean by this, listeners who think I hate everything, because you're not giving me any story to sink my teeth into. It's not interesting. If he comes out on SmackDown and you see, I'm trying to think of a heel like Karrion Kross come out. Like, who cares?
That's my thing. It has to mean something, right? So, like you just said, we're not ready to boo Randy, but what if this coming SmackDown comes up and Randy's in the ring and Cody's there and Cody's telling him, man, or Randy comes out and he goes, my arm was raised. I should be the king of the ring. I should have a title match at some. Randy comes out or Cody comes out, pumping him up and whatever, I'm willing. And Randy hits that RKO. And he just stares at him, dead ass, kind of like what he did. Right now, you're invested. Now you're like, holy, now that has to happen.
But do you see the problem? Do you all see the problem with that? We think this is awesome. We would be going bananas. We instead of going boo, we would be the place would explode because RKO out of nowhere is already one of the best moves in wrestling. Then you have Randy Orton do it on the World Championship, saying, "I'm taking that title." Instantly, Cody would be booed. Instantly. That's how it would happen. And I don't think the higher ups want that. I think the higher ups want him to be the next John Cena. I think they want him to be what he's not.
Well, if that's true, then they're basically Vince McMahon's aura, if you will. You know, you could say everything you want about Vince McMahon and how great Triple H and Triple H is great. Triple H has proven it's like a coach in football. Well, I was just talking about Anthony Weaver as the defensive coordinator for the Miami Dolphins, and I was saying why it's going to work and why I feel it's going to work is because he's a former coach, and a lot of former coaches are better coaches for players because they've been there, they've done that, they know how it is, and that's the same for Triple H, Paul Levesque. He's been there. He knows what it is in the locker room. He knows what it is to put a 5-star match. He knows what it is to work and bust your ass and be what you are and be the best. He knows, and it's showing. You see what he's doing for all of the stars. It feels like every wrestler that's on the main card featured is important in a way because you know that's his hand on top of it. Where, you know, Vince McMahon's later years, I'll say, it's like you knew what the dump offs were and you know who the main guy was. There was one main guy and everyone else was dump offs. With Triple H, everyone seems like a main guy. Everyone looks like they could be thrown in a picture. If their thing is Cody can't be touched, you know, it's like the Solo story that's being thrown out there. And I don't have the dirt sheet thing on right now, but the Solo thing. They don't want to bring in Jacob Fatu because Solo has to look like he is the powerhouse, that he can't be beat, whatever. That makes no effing sense whatsoever. Because before Roman Reigns left, after Solo beat John Cena, right? He lost every other match.
Mm-hmm.
It makes no sense to say, I'm not bringing back Jacob Fatu because it's going to make Solo look weak. You already made Solo look weak. The only way you can make him strong is he has a strong team around him. We know how badass Solo is. We understand that. There ain't no doubt what he is, win, lose, or draw. But don't be saying we're not bringing back Jacob Fatu because we don't want to make Solo look weak. You already did that. But if you bring up Jacob Fatu with that with
Tamatanga.
thank you, the Tongas and what, now he looks pretty freaking intimidating.
Yep.
Now he looks like you know what I mean? It's like, really?
Now the group looks legitimate.
Yeah, and it makes him look legitimate. He's lost every match, but now he doesn't. Now he's going to be down because even when he starts to lose, you got those guys to deal with. So I hope they're not as short-sighted as with Cody as you're saying. I hope not, because Cody, we know he could play the baby fist, but we know he'll be an awesome villain, and he could play the baby like that baby face, not anti-hero. That's different. Roman Reigns, I think, should be the anti-hero, like a Steve Austin or a Triple H, where you knew they have it in them. You knew they were bad guys.
Yeah.
Even Hogan, Hollywood Hogan, post Hollywood Hogan, he was Hulk Hogan. He was the red and yellow. But when he would roll out of ring, when he would go and grab the belt or grab the, you knew he had it. He wasn't an anti-hero, but I'm talking Austin and Triple H were. But that's what I think Roman Reigns would be. Cody, the Homelander comparison.
Yes.
He thinks he's the hero. He thinks he's the good guy, but really, he's a sadistic prick. He's a condescending prick. He's doing that when every time, whatever it's legitimate or not. Now, when I found out he did the acting class, it's kind of like, okay, now I realize. But when he goes like, I'm not, and again, it's his dad. I'm sure, we know how much he loved the dad and how much everybody loves his dad. But he was like, and my dad, he always does that. It's like,
see, he's doing everything that he did in AEW, except for AEW fans rejected it. That's why he left. We saw that as in live person, and he would cry about his dad on TV or whatever, and we would just boo him because we're tired of it. It's the same story for me. It's been the same story for almost 7 years now, and I'm over it. I want to see heel Cody. I want to see badass Bullet Club, ROH, New Japan, heel Cody.
And again, you have to believe, first off, Cody is very smart. He's smart in the business. That's why he left the WWE. He did his own thing. He blew himself up, became his own man, kind of like what Mercedes is doing for herself. Because despite what we're seeing with her mic work and whatever, she's made her name bigger outside. We know Sasha Banks is pretty freaking huge. I mean, but what Mercedes was able to do outside. Now she has to make up for it, and hopefully she makes it up for it tomorrow. But and eventually, mic work wise, because again, WWE, when the time comes, WWE say, okay, are you ready to come back? Here's the buttload, and we're gonna push you like Cody. Cody has to realize, hey, Hunter, we got to do this. Hogan realized it. Rock realized it just recently. You know, when you go, it's just not working.
Yeah.
It's not feeling legitimate. I can pull this off. I know, John Cena had said before, and John Cena, though, he was a heel at the beginning, a little, not at the beginning. He was, but when
Cena?
yeah,
When he first
Thugonomics.
debuted? Oh yeah, he was
Not
heel.
when he first, but he was a heel. But
Yeah.
I don't think it would not really have worked. He was that. I mean, I would have been entertaining to see, but it would never. John Cena is the ultimate babyface. Actually, now looking back, made sense. Cody Rhodes doesn't.
No.
So if we could get that Bullet Club all black Cody Rhodes, not black hair. I remember what you told me last week, and I'm like, I don't want to do that. But if you could do that, and the neck tattoo I can't stand. When I first saw him again for the first time, I was like, what is that? Like, really, bro? Like the neck tattoo? Like you couldn't do that on your back or something, or your arm? You had to do it on your
awful.
Dude, like what were you thinking? Anyway, sorry, Cody. But yeah, so
hey, everyone, text me about how you think Bobby hates everything.
What's that OUS phone line that you guys got? Text
text us over there. I want to know everything that you point out that Bobby hates. No, listen, but I think to your point, we want things to be. We think Cody would be a better character if he was a condescending Homelander. Chris Jericho is doing it right now in AEW. He was a babyface. The whole allegations came out of him doing whatever he did with whatever wrestler. People were saying, like, please retire. They're booing him out of buildings. He read that and goes, okay, I have to turn heel. And now his new gimmick is basically, I'm the learning tree. I'm here to help everyone. Hi, guys. Hi. Like, he's acting like a babyface, but he's a heel. Cody, don't go to that extent of like overacting and being like Jericho, but stay who you are. Use your big words in your promos. Just do heelish things. That's all we ask. You could be the same exact character. Just start cheating in your matches, but say you're cheating because it's the right thing to do, and you're actually, and believe it. Kurt Angle did it. Kurt Angle was the ultimate. He was, in his mind, he was the babyface. That's what makes the best heel.
Yeah.
When they think they're right. Thanos thought he was right. Some people think he was right.
That's a great point. Tell me and see if you agree or not. But did you not sympathize with Thanos in the first Avengers? Like you felt like
Of course.
I see where he's coming from. I feel for this guy. We knew he was an ultimate bad guy, but it's like he humanized himself. When he had to kill Gamora and threw up there, and he's like, I actually feel bad for this prick.
Yeah,
the
best bad guys have a motive. They're not.
Awesome,
they're just
man.
not bad.
That's awesome. Great point, dude. Legitimately, I will defend you to the ends of the earth when people text me now and find me at work. I was like, don't talk shit. Leave it alone. Let him hate who he wants to hate. It's a buttload of people, but let it go. No. All right. Priest versus McIntyre was announced today by Triple H in the back. And what I was talking about earlier was that, he said Triple H announced to Kyla Braxton.
Caleb Braxton?
Yes. That he said, Drew's medically cleared and he's made the promise, and Damian made the promise that once he'll defend the title. Well, it's happening. So I'm here to announce Damian Priest will defend his world title against Drew McIntyre, and the crowd's, oh! At Clash at the Castle in Scotland. Oh, wow. And okay, so that's what you were talking about the crowd earlier, and I was like, yes, it was. You felt the hype, you felt it, and all of a sudden it just died as soon as they said Scotland. They're like,
it could have been an email, bro.
Yeah, I could have just announced it post event. Like, damn. If it was in the States, you would have got a loud reaction, because fans are excited either way. The Saudi Arabia is like, wait, why didn't we get this match? What?
The prince is like, do not let their plane leave until we get this match.
Next week, this match will be going down tomorrow night. So again, obvious. I talked about this, that I would like to see Drew versus Gunther. This could be the way it's going. I can't see Damian Priest not dropping this title to Drew in Scotland in his own backyard. Uh, this Drew has, I mean, Damian Priest has a bigger story than the world title right now. I'm happy he won it. He did deserve it. He will get it again. He's a very good character. He's had some awesome matches. You think of Bad Bunny in
Mhm.
Puerto Rico and whatnot. He's had really good matches. But this is that match right there should be fun, but it will be the time he drops it. What do you think of this match being announced?
Yeah, this was the obvious match going in. It should have been the match. This is said the word all a million times tonight. This is awesome for Drew to win this title over there at the Clash. We thought he should have won it against Roman. Another match that Roman had that mattered, that we actually cared about, going back to that conversation. So
Yeah.
this time Drew should go over. Is this where we see the jealousy of Finn Balor and the remaining Judgment Day members? Do they screw him over, or does he lose clean? Because technically it's heel versus heel right now. So is Damian turn priest, or does Damian turn priest? Does Damian Priest turn babyface before this match eventually, or is he already heading babyface? That's what I'm trying to add. Like, I'm trying to get to this point of, who do we cheer in this match? Who do the fans want to see win this match? I know the smart fans want McIntyre, but like
Yeah.
the casual, like, feed me baby faces, do they want Damian Priest to go over?
No, I obviously in Scotland we know where the crowd's going to be at. We know whose corner they're going to be in. Um it's I it's going to be interesting. It's going to be loud. We know the crowd is going to make this match bigger than what it may be. Damian Priest like Rhea, is leaning towards babyface. The crowd is cheering for him. They're turning to him, and it looks like he's turning as well. Uh, McIntyre is obvious heel. I think he will play the heel in this feud. It's going to be very interesting. Obviously, he will be the face in Scotland. The crowd's going to be crazy for him. The win he picks, and I guess we could say it now. I predict he's going to win the title, obviously, and I think the crowd is going to be crazy. It's good. I love WWE is traveling the world basically to do these shows. I think it's great for them. I think it's great for wrestling. I think it's great for fans because it gets the fans at home pumped to see the crowd act this way. Priest, I don't know. Judgment Day interference, Finn Balor, whatever, cost him the title, or and that's where the turn happens, or Drew beats Damian clean. Priest gets up. Remember that, and again, I'm referencing Hogan. I guess is the way to go. Is the WrestleMania 18, Rock beats Hogan clean. Scott Hall, Kevin Nash come out and beat the hell out of Hogan. I think that's maybe another way to go. Those three. You think JD, Finn, uh, this other doofus my daughter likes. What's his name?
Dirty Dom.
Thank you. My head is fried. But yeah, and they beat the hell out of
Good.
Damian Priest, kicking him out essentially of the Judgment Day. And then you go into SummerSlam with Priest versus Finn, which it would be a great match, a fun match, and a big story to go along with it. So I think we're on the right path. I think you're on the right road there, thinking where it may be going. How it plays out, I don't know, but I think in the story, McIntyre's the heel, Priest will be the face, but the match itself, McIntyre's gonna come out huge, big time.
Yep.
Especially in Scotland.
Can't wait. I don't. You asked me earlier, do we think Cody defends his title at Clash? I don't think we need to. I think this match will make the fans happy. I don't think we need to see Cody travel all the way to Scotland for this match, or for a random one-off match. There's no story there. So yes, this could be the main event. This could be the key title defense, or of course a championship match. So we all knew it was coming. Glad it's happening. I don't know why they announced it in Saudi and just killed that crowd. Like, you want to send the fans home happy, not like, oh, we could have had this match. Oh, this is yeah.
It's like
What a
it's like when
buzzkill.
it's like when as I'm playing with my son at Major League Baseball, and I go home run, and the ball really just falls just short, and like or foul ball, home,
Yeah,
it's like he's like shut up, he gets so mad.
so close. Yeah,
Um,
but Yeah.
Good.
No, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, I think you're absolutely right. And in regards of Cody, I think let's say if it's Randy, he's gonna face at SummerSlam, use this next month and 2 months or whatever to build that match, build that story. Don't put him in a card. Don't put him in this card. Don't do some rando match. Build this story up, and you maybe use that show to build that story. You know, put him in a tag or whatever. May that be the betrayal. I don't know. But don't put the title on the line. Don't give him some random opponent, working champion. Let Damian be the working champion. Let this title be the headline match.
I like that idea. Tag
Yeah.
Cody, and just some random baby face versus. Just make a story. That's all we want. Make a story.
If Randy and the fans are gonna cheer Randy just like they cheer any quote unquote legend, unless you're The Rock, apparently, who's a heel. They're gonna cheer him because they love him.
You
But
know,
we need heel Randy in this
Cody
story.
Cody's been feuding with the Bloodline for over 2 years. Randy's feuding with the Bloodline now. Maybe you pair them, tag team them, and then against Solo and
Yes,
whoever.
Randy and Cody at the Clash of the Castle against the Bloodline.
Yeah, and then there's
Yeah,
the turn. Randy could turn right there. Not turn, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying,
we'll
like
see.
we need to get something. We let the story play out. You say it the best. Let the story play out. I haven't really. I'm still processing what happened today.
Yeah,
So thinking about the next pay per view is kind of hard for me. I need to see what happens on Raw and SmackDown to move
and
forward with
and,
what I'm
and and I just thought of this, Kevin Owens. Where does he factor in with Randy Orton in the Bloodline factor with Cody now? And interesting to see because that's the other guy. I know him and Randy have the feud with the Bloodline right now. Where does
Yep.
that continue? So we'll roll on. So let's get into our final thoughts. Overall, this show, how are you feeling?
Solid B minus show for me. That's a good grade, everyone. To me,
Yeah,
that's a
I
really
think
good
that's
grade.
fair. I'm with you on that one.
Yeah,
And
solid B minus. Nothing was awful. Nothing was AEW Collision awful. Nothing was nothing was AEW Double or Nothing amazing, spectacular. It was just a very solid show. The fan base was my biggest worry about Saudi shows are the fans at the show. They're usually quiet. Nobody knows what's usually happening. I think that has changed because they're going there so often now, and WWE is now global, as in they're always doing shows everywhere. It's no longer just landlocked here to America. They're everywhere. So the company's growing. People are knowing who these people are. So it's making the shows better. It's not, hey, we got Goldberg versus Undertaker. Why? Because Saudi wanted him. Okay, why? We're not getting that stuff anymore. So I'm glad to see this particular pay per view grow, or PLE grow, from where it was with Brock Lesnar burying Goldberg burying the Fiend to now what we see now, which is legitimate superstars and stories that make sense.
and that's absolutely fair and true. They were doing these dream matches, quote unquote, with these big names because, and again, Vince McMahon was running it, and Saudi was paying for it. They're like, "Hey, man, we want to see Goldberg versus Lesnar or Goldberg versus the Fiend. We want Goldberg to go over. Here's the money. Okay, we're going to change everything up, and that's going to go down." It's not like that anymore. Again, these matches mean something. You're right, and I'm with you on the B minus. I think that's a solid grade. I think that's a fair grade. It was not. It was a good PLE. It was a fun PLE. Matches were fun. The story continues overall. And, again, Gunther wins. Nia wins. Gunther, he's on track to be the world champion. We got Damian versus Drew for the next PLE. That was announced. Again, I agree. It should have been Monday night. It kind of killed the crowd, and the crowd did not need to be killed. They were great throughout the show. They weren't France, but they were good. They were good.
Imagine like me and my family at the Olive Garden, right? We're all here. Hey kids, I want to announce we're gonna have ice cream next month. At first, they're like, "Yeah, bring out the ice cream," or "We're going to the ice cream shop next month." They're like, "Ah," like imagine that. Like you're just teasing them with something they
Oh,
want.
dude, it brings my son was younger then, but I remember they wanted to go to Chuck E. Cheese, and it was my son or my daughter. I think it was my daughter, and I was like, I was driving home. I'm going, well, I'm going where there's a place. Well, yeah, I'm going to take you somewhere. Where? Well, I'm taking you to a place where there's video games, and there's a place where you can jump and bounce off of stuff, and you can run around everywhere you want. What? Yeah, they got toys. There's a little corner where there's toys, And you open this box and there's a lot of toys in there, and you can play all the games you want. Really? Yeah. We're going there right now. And I'm turning, of course, on my stream. She's, we're going home. Exactly.
Yep.
And it was my wife's like, you're an I was like, you can play
are.
game in your room. You gotta, yeah. It's okay. I'm the
everyone,
ultimate heel.
He's the heel, everyone.
I'm the heel. I'm the heel. I will gladly admit that. Okay, but your weekend is not done with wrestling.
No.
AEW is tomorrow. What's going on with AEW? Their pay-per-view. What are you looking forward to, man?
AEW's got a jam-packed show, like 11 matches. I didn't watch Collision last night or today. I don't know when Collision's on, but I'll tell you this: I'm sure they're going to add more matches. Looking forward to Ospreay. Of course, Will Ospreay, if you don't know, he's the best wrestler in the world, at least in the ring. Looking forward to his match with Roderick Strong, former NXT tag team champion over there. Looking forward to a lot, man. I tell this to people all the time. Don't watch AEW television weekly. It's bad. It'll rot your brain. But watch the pay-per-views, because every match is 4.5 stars. And Dave Meltzer might rate them all 4.5 stars. They legitimately are. They are all, but they won't make sense, Bobby. You won't get the story, the Otis situation. You won't get the Logan Paul. You won't get anything. You'll just get flips, backflips, super kicks, dives. It's just action. That's all it is.
Total nonstop action. Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
All elite wrestling. And one day, Bobby, one day on this show.
Yes, sir.
If it's not a jam-packed weekend where we just had this show, we will be covering those shows.
Absolutely.
We were going to have to. Like the
I'm
All
down.
In, when All In comes in, when they're in London, Wembley, rest of the show we're going to have to cover. Now, I understand not covering this one, but we're going to have to cover that one.
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, what's it, tomorrow night? We could have done it. I'm down, but no, absolutely.
I'm down too, Bobby. I'm just throwing it out there. I'll be, because I'm off Monday. I've already bought the pay-per-view.
Okay.
I'm looking forward to it. If you want to, and if this is an impromptu show and we should be doing this behind the scenes, I'm down. I got my coffee ready.
There you go.
So
okay.
Hey,
you know what? All right. Okay. Yeah. Because I think I have it available. I'm pretty sure. I have I'll tell you about it. But anyway, if I do, then yes, I think I would not be, because then we could go match by match. You could tell me everything, and I could tell you it was a pretty damn good match, or what the hell was that?
Now I warn you, I don't know if you've ever sat through an entire AEW pay-per-view.
I have not.
They're long. They're like what WrestleMania used to be. They're like what WrestleMania used to be. Tony Khan just can't stop adding matches, and some matches don't belong there. And they're already, I talked about this with Clutch and Koffler on Real Talk Wrestling, where we cover mainly AEW. Some matches are better left on Dynamite and Collision, but they're there. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, we'll see. Wait for it. We'll see if anything though, but All In for sure. Those big major ones. Absolutely. I'm absolutely on board. We just have to figure out to find somewhere to watch it. I ain't paying $55 for this. But anyway,
I don't blame you.
It's all good. But guys, hey, thank you all for tuning in. Let me make sure I have the info here. Don't forget, catch us again. Should be tomorrow on the Go Live Sports Cast app. You find that on your Roku. Download that on Roku. You can find that on GoLiveSportsCast.com as well. I think we've aired 4 times from last episode. They have everything on there. I mean, I've seen indoor soccer. I've seen wife carrying contest, auctions. There was something else I saw. I'm trying to remember now. My memory's always shot. Anyway, it's a lot of fun. I like watching it just to watch it, because it does kill the time. But let us kill your time. Tune in again. Go on there and watch it. But yeah, until then, unless we see you guys tomorrow night, we'll see you all next Saturday with another edition of the No Holds Barred Wrestling Podcast. Thank you and good day.
It's the Fins Talk Sports Network, FTSN, talking major sports and even wrestling. Bobby Fins Talk and his FTSN crew, they're taking deep dives just to talking Dolphins, Heat, and Hurricanes, Marlins, and Panthers, and Inter Miami. Fans Talk Sports Network.